Hey guys, come on in, come on in. Welcome to Unapologetic. I'm your host, KDGRIER, and today we're going to talk about something a little serious. I know I like to play around, I know I like to have fun, and we're going to get some of the giggles in also today. But I want to talk to you today about something a little more serious, something that's on my heart. I had a friend. A really close friend who was out here doing the work, guys. Her name is Rolanda Wilkins, and she posted something on Facebook the other day, a video on Facebook the other day talking about Black femicide. And, Black femicide is basically the killing of Black women, Black girls. And I wanted to share with you guys my close story today. I wanted to share with you guys my close story today. So come on in, share, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you do. Your comments are part of the show. So as you comment, we will run those comments up on the show if they are relevant, if they are helpful, if they're beneficial, or if they're just funny. We like to have fun. Again, this is a serious topic, but we also want to make sure that through the pain that we find some joy there, through the hurt that we find some hope there, right? So we don't want to be just curmudgeons because something may have happened to us in our life. We want to always be the light. Okay, so we're gonna shed light on this subject, and we're gonna be the light too. So, like I said, go ahead and share. I'm going to share to my Facebook page. You guys go ahead and share to your Facebook pages, or share with your friends, because we are going to talk about it. All right. All right. So, again, my name is Khadijah. For those of you who uh, may not know me, and I am also a survivor of domestic violence. I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. I rarely say that. I really don't tell people that because at first I was a little embarrassed because I'm tough, y'all. I'm strong. I don't play around. Anybody who knows me from my school days, know that that I'm a fighter, so I fight. Okay. People know me. They know I will fight. To be found in a situation where I found myself in being in a domestic violence situation, that was rather embarrassing at the time. So, yeah, some of you out there also may have been in similar situations, whether you were the aggressor or whether you were the victim at the time. But whatever it is, and to whomever it happened to, it has to stop. I am a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe the Lord will not bring me to something that He will not bring me through. So I do believe that there was a lesson for me to gain out of it, and from that, I do need to let my voice be heard. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, right? Um, I was about 28 years old, single mom. I had a son and a daughter, and I found myself in a relationship with what we would call at the time a Renaissance man, right? The resume looked good. He looked good. Everything looked good. All the ladies wanted him, and he quote unquote chose me out of all of those women who were just throwing themselves at him. And so I felt honored. I felt, you know, uh, I felt like this is what it's supposed to be. This is what is supposed to happen. So during the span of the relationship, we were together about 2.5 years. During the span of the relationship, I found myself in a place of where I lost myself. I didn't know who I was anymore because I was steady trying to conform to what this person was doing and what this person was wanted. And by the way, this was a 30-year-old black man who owned his own home, made six figures. He played the saxophone. I mean, he traveled the world. He wasn't from this country, which was also appealing to me because he had accent, those superficial things that people go for and that people like. He was a believer. He was a minister, a youth minister, a youth leader. And so The relationship started off great. We were jiving. Everything was good. We were a compliment to one another. He worked from home at the time. I was not employed. I was doing hair, not even in a salon, just out of my home. So I wasn't employed, but I did bring in money, and so we just had a lot of downtime because he worked from home. There was a lot of time where we were just together on top of each other all the time. And so that created a sense of oneness or a union that was not valid at the time. The reason why I say it wasn't valid because we weren't married. Right. And so it created a space to where I felt safe. I felt secure financially. Let's just be honest, right? I'm a single mom, two kids, no quote unquote job, no savings or retirement that I had, and this brother made six figures, and so I was just like, oh, this is my forever love. I found it. Thank you, Lord Jesus. He's a believer. He's in the church. And then things went a little left. They went a little left. Again, this is still unapologetic. So I'm unapologetically telling my story of how the events unfolded, right? Um, and so as I'm living my life as who I am a girl who appreciates the company of men. I'm like a tomboy on the inside. On the outside, I may have the hair, the makeup, the heels, the whatever. I may be a little shapely or curvy, but I prefer being around guys because it's just fun, right? You get to clown, you get to talk mess. Ain't nobody in their feelings. They're not talking about, woe is me, my last relationship, and all the girly stuff, the cat fight. Like, guys, to me, I'm just really comfortable being in like a room full of men just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Just we talking sports, we chopping it up, we capping on each other, playing a dozen. I'm talking about your mama, you talking about my daddy, it's just fun to me in that atmosphere. So that is mostly my friend circle. And so this person, I remember, would just be so livid. He would just be so jealous about the guys who were around me. And he would be, and who I was on my phone with. So when I would go to sleep, he would check my phone. I didn't know. And one day he checked my phone. This is the start of it. One day he checked my phone and I was talking to one of my homeboys from the Bay Area. And I was talking about how I'm coming out there and we're going to kick it. We're going to hang out. And he didn't like that. And so he thought that kick it meant we were going to have sex. And so basically I woke up to being slapped in the face. That was the very first time he put his hands on me. And I was shocked, y'all. I was stunned. Because mind you, I'm just getting my bearings. I'm waking up. I don't know what's going on. So I'm looking like, I know this nigga didn't just, and we're going to have some little profanity in here, right? Because I'm just being raw and real. I was like, I know this nigga didn't just hit me in the face. And mind you, my kids are not with me. They're at their dad's house. So I get up and I'm like, what just happened? You doing this, you're doing that. So it was a whole bunch of jealousy. It was a whole bunch of nonsensical stuff. But instead of me protecting myself in here, I'm trying to protect my future, what I thought was my future of financial stability, my future of, I'm just going to keep it 1,000. Did I like this guy a lot? Yes. Was I in love with this guy at the time? Yes. So with the financial stability also, I was like, okay, this is just a going now. If he was a bum or a scrub or whatever, I might have been like, okay, on to the next. But financially I was held captive, guys. And so that is something that to me, I was just like, not that I was a gold digger or whatever, but it did mean a lot to me that somebody could take care of themselves and potentially take care of me as well, right? So I let him stay. I allowed him to remain. He apologized. He was sad. He was in tears. He was overcome with emotion. I was overcome with emotion because here I am at a place where I never thought I would be. And when he said he wouldn't do it again, it was just a knee-jerk reaction. I believed him. I trusted him. And I said, you know what? So far, this guy's been solid. He said he's not going to do it again. Okay, I believe him. So months and months and months goes by. Come to find out, when we first started dating, he had already had a girl that he was breaking up with. And so when he went to quote unquote break up with this girl, the girl told him that she was pregnant by him. So when I found out, I was like, well, we weren't together. So it is what it is. I got kids. If you got kids by somebody else, I'm here to support you, help, support your child. Like, it's whatever. Right. And so one day I'm coming back from my mentor's house. We all live in the same area. I mean, within a mile of each other. I'm coming back from my mentor's house. Now I know where the baby mama live at, right? I know where she lives because he's told me, he's given me all this information. She lives down the street from my mentor. So I pull out of my mentor's house and I see a truck like his, maybe a few cars in front of me. So I call and I'm like, hey, where you at? I didn't call and say, hey, is that you in front of me? I said, hey, where you at? And he was like, well, I'm at, I'm in the South area. I was going to come by. I'm like, in the South area? That's weird. That's this nigga car in front of me. I'm in the South area. I'm going to come by. I'll probably be around there in like 30 minutes, and maybe we can do this and that and the third. And I'm like, this fool is literally in front of me. I said, oh, so you're in the South area? Yeah. I said, really? That's weird. Because I'm leaving my mentor's house and I could have swore I seen a car like yours. Now I see this car that's like 2 or 3 cars in front of me break. At the light at the corner, there's like a Walmart and some other stuff. So I see that car pull into the Walmart. And I look and I'm like, that's him. So I see his head look at me and I'm like, oh, okay. So you just lying. So basically you at the broad's house and you can't even tell me because you're over there doing something nefarious. So I just start driving to the house. So then his truck comes out of the parking lot on the other side and pulls behind me. And so he's driving behind me. He's driving rapidly like, stop, I want to talk to you. Stop, I want to talk to me. Nah, bruh. You don't need to talk to me. I don't have nothing to talk to you about. So now I'm getting hood with it because I'm like, this nigga trying to play me. You know what I'm saying? He's out here wilding and he be hella jealous about where I'm at. So now all of a sudden he's trying to play me. And the reason why he's jealous is because he's out here doing what he ain't supposed to be doing. So I'm like, bro, I done gave you all this liberty, all this trust. And now you've let me down. So I'm driving. I'm like, I'm not even going to go home. Just go home. I'm coming. No, you're not coming to my house. My kids are in the car at the time. Just come home. You're not going to my house. So I keep driving. Now he's speeding up on me. And I'm like, I just got to get out of here. So I start taking the road to my mom's house because I know that fool ain't finna come up to my mom's house acting a fool because my mom will blow a hole through the fool. So I'm like, okay, I just need to get to my mom's house. So I pulled off on this road that goes to my mom's house and he cuts around me, cuts off my car. I had to turn my car into like the middle divider. He came up on the side of me on my windshield and on my driver's side door. And there was nowhere I could be. There's other cars around. So I'm just honking like, don't nobody see him? Like somebody, come help me. Somebody do something. So people were just driving. There was a light and it turned red and people were sitting at that light just watching him come over to my driver's side door and my window was cracked and he put his hands in my window and I'm trying to roll it up because I don't want no problems. And he rips the window out and it shattered into like a million pieces. And I was so scared. I was like, my babies are in the car. I just kept saying, my kids are in the car. My kids are in the car. Don't do this. My kids are in the car. I remember it like it was just like it just happened. And I'm not going to cry because I ain't no hunk, but I was like, this is about to go down in front of my kids and they're going to be scarred and traumatized for life. And they're calling his name like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, bro, don't do this in front of my kids. And he just kept saying, well, just get out the car and talk to me. I just want to go to my mom's house, please. I don't want to get out and talk to you. So I told him, okay, I'm going home. Just follow me home. He's like, are you going home? Yes, I'm going home. Okay, just follow me home and we'll talk. So he moved his car from in front of mine to go home, and there's you had to make a U-turn. And so because he was in front of me, he made that U-turn first, and I just kept going straight. I just skirted off, and I drove and drove and drove, and I called one of my homeboys, and I'm like, bruh, this just happened. And he said, come to my house right now. I'm standing outside. Come to my house right now. So he called the dude because he knew the dude, and he was like, nigga, you tripping. Like, you wilding out here. What's going on? Why would you do something like that? And so he's talking to him, and he's saying, he's gonna fix it. He's gonna take care of it. He's gonna take care of it. Now, mind you, he's balling, so he could throw his money around. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of it. And so my mentor was like, you need to come. So he made him come. You need to come here, come right now. So what ended up happening was I ended up driving a different car, and he had to put my car in the shop to get it fixed. So now I'm like, I'm really not messing with this dude no more. Like, this is the second occasion where he's gotten violent. I'm not messing with this fool. It's not okay. I'm good. I'm just good. This is just who he is. That slap was not a mistake or a knee-jerk reaction. Like, this nigga is violent, period, point blank. So I stopped talking to him. I'm at the church. Mind you, he go to the church. I'm in the choir stand because they used to let me sing in the choir, y'all. Contrary to popular belief, your girl got vocals. Your girl got pipes, okay? So they used to let me sing in the choir before I got kicked out, as my brother-in-law say, which I didn't get kicked out. But so he's at the church while, and he pulls his motorcycle up on the sidewalk, and I'm at choir rehearsal, excuse me. And the choir director was like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah. So he comes and sits in the church, and the choir director is looking at me like, are you sure everything is okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything is fine. Yeah, whatever. Because again, I'm embarrassed. I don't want everybody to know what's going on in my business, right? I don't want everybody to know what's going on. And so he proceeds to, hey, smile, and everybody was like, hey, how you doing, such and such? And everybody, oh, everything is good. Everything is fine. So I talked to him at the church, and I'm like, bro, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm good. Whatever. So he didn't let no be the answer. And clearly I didn't let no be the answer either, because like a week or so later, we got back together, and I was just dumb, stuck on stupid, because all the flags were there, all the signs, all the everything was there. So now we're getting closer to his baby being born. And he's threatening suicide every time I talk about breaking up. Every time I want to go with my homegirls somewhere, we used to go to this popular club out here, me and my girls, and he would just show up. He'd show up, and I didn't drink, so he would buy my girls drinks. I'm like, he's so nice. He always treating. He's always doing this. He's so sweet. He's so kind. Everybody loved him, but meanwhile, I knew the dark side of him. And when he would come to the door, I'd be like, oh, here this nigga come. They're like, why do we like that with him? Why are you like that with him? Because y'all don't understand that my phone can't even ring once. If he knows where I'm at and I don't answer my phone, he's calling whoever else he thinks I'm with. He's popping up wherever else he thinks I'm at. I remember having a Sprint at the time. And thank you, Veronica. I love you too, sugar. I remember having a Sprint at the time, and the fool, I wouldn't answer the phone. I was like, my reception is bad. My reception is bad. And at the time, Sprint was top. It wasn't, Verizon was not the top. Sprint was the top. So he was like, oh, you don't have good reception. No, my reception, my phone be acting up, whatever. So I'm at my mentor's house. He just calling back to back to back to back. So finally he showed up over there, and she pulled him in the garage, and she was like, we over here kicking it. Why are you trying to interfere with what we got going? She told you she would call you back. Why are you at my house right now? Oh, I thought that, no, when she said she was going to call you back, she didn't give you a time frame. So why you think it was only going to be 30 minutes or an hour? Oh, I just want to check everything. Okay, everything is fine, but you need to leave. So she made him leave, and she talked to me, and she was like, sis, you can't keep doing this. Like, I see the light being snuffed out of your eyes, like that light that's in you. Like, where is that? Like, you look different, you act different, you're different. And I'm like, oh no, everything is okay, because again, I'm still embarrassed that this nigga is crazy, right? So I'm sorry for all the N words, but I'm trying not to say it. I said in 2021 I wasn't gonna say the N word no more, but clearly I done messed up. So I'm gonna start in 2022. Anyway, so Showed up at my house. He has a phone that matches his phone from his carrier for me, telling me that since my phone doesn't work, he thought he would get me a phone. Look, it's matching. We have matching phones, and isn't that so cute? And all the other good things. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So now I have two phones to be harassed on. So he's calling me on both phones all the time, phone after phone after phone. All right. So again, another red flag. So I'm just telling you guys my story so you guys can see the red flags, because as I tell my kids and whoever they dating at the time, possessiveness is abuse. When you want to be in somebody's face all the damn time, in their face all the time, and they have to be with you, everything that you do, that is possessiveness, and that is abuse. A person doesn't have to lay their hands on you. A person don't got to call you all out of your name and trash talk you and tell you what you ain't gonna be for it to be abuse. Abuse comes in multiple forms. There's financial abuse, and this fool was definitely possessive. He was definitely possessive, and he was projecting what he was doing onto me. So fast forward, next incident. So now, because how many of you guys know that, when you're with somebody, y'all souls intertwine, their energy, their vibration, their aura, whatever, attaches itself to you. So now I'm becoming crazy like he was already crazy, right? So now he's telling me where he's going and what he's going to be and what he's doing. And so one night he was like, I'm going, I'm about to go. I forgot what he said he was going to go, but I was like, okay, cool, no problem. So I called him and he's not answering. So now I'm like, oh, well, he ain't answering. So what is he doing? Right. So now I'm getting jealousy brain, which I didn't have before. If don't nobody want to be with me, they ain't got to be with me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. I'm not the jealous type to where I feel like you got to be up under me all the time, or when you walk out the door, you're going to be cheating. Like, that's just not me. I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in what I bring to the table. So if you choose to go outside of that relationship, that's on you. And then if that information comes back to me, then I'll make the decision appropriately based on where I'm at in the moment. But I don't feel like I got to yoke somebody or make them be attached to me. You feel me? All right. So now he's like, he's home. Okay. So I go to his house, no answer, although the car is parked out there. So I'm like, why ain't he answering? So he already showed me where the spare key was. He's like, in case of emergency, or you just want to come by, your spare key. This is the code to the alarm. So I'm like, okay, cool. I go to I get the key and I open the door, unarm the house. He's nowhere to be found. He in his room. He ain't nowhere. Trucks outside, motorcycles in the garage. I'm like, where's this fool at? So again, because now I have brain rot, I look on the phone. I'm like, what's the last number that he called? So I look on his phone, the last number that called, the last number that came in. So I push read out. Woman answered the phone. And I don't say anything, but she's like, hello, who is this? Hello, who is this? And I'm like, this is a woman. Like, who is this woman that has answered the phone? And then I hear her say his name and say, somebody's calling from your house. Now, y'all, okay, I'm ready to go O double F, okay? O double F. Sidebar, quick sidebar. When I was much, much younger and I found out my baby daddy was cheating on me, I tore his house up. So here I am, a little bit older, and I'm like, what can you tear up? Can you set this mug on fire? Like, how quickly can you set this mug on fire? Because now I'm like, okay, she's telling him that somebody's at his house calling her, which I know he's going to be there shortly because we only live not too far from each other. So I'm like, what can I do real quick to you know what I'm saying, tear this house up before I walk out this door? So Veronica, she knows she was there. She remembers. Anyway, so so I didn't touch anything in the house. I just locked the house back up, put the key back, jumped in my whip because I'm like, this fool is going to come and he's going to be mad. So I try to hurry up and go home. And when I get to my house, which is in a gated community, I hurry up and try to get in the gate, and he jumps out of nowhere. And so he just starts cussing me out and why'd you do this? And I could have shot you. Oh, did I mention that he was like trained at West Point, like top of his class, whatever, marksman and all that other stuff. So he's with the shits, and he has the guns and the crossbows and all that, right? So I'm like, okay, now Khadijah, you really need to be scared. Like now I'm not crazy anymore. I'm at my senses. I'm like, you know what? This fool is bigger than you. He done already put his hands on you once. He shows you that he can be continually violent. So you need to just play nice and get your A doubles in the house, lock your door, and never talk to this fool again. So he's cussing me out. He's screaming, "You shouldn't have did this." Da, da, da. Okay, you know what? I apologize. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. It'll never happen again. And so when I told him it's over, it's never gonna happen again, that's when he decided that he needed to put his hands on me and make sure that I was not standing. So he yanks me down by my hair and I hit the ground. I keep getting up. He did it again. He did it like 3 times. So the last time I'm on the ground, all I can hear in my head was, you need to praise the Lord. You need to praise the Lord at the name of Jesus. Your enemy gonna flee. So I just started praising Jesus. I started calling on the name of Jesus, y'all. It was surreal. It was like to me, it felt like the right thing to do in a time. And I'm just like, thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for showing me, Lord Jesus. And he instantly backs up and he's like, what's going on here? And I'm just thanking the Lord and I'm just crying. I'm just thanking the Lord and I'm praising the Lord for being my savior. I'm just praising the Lord for being my protector, for being my keeper. And then I hear his car skirts off. And guys, I was like so happy that Jesus was my savior. I was so happy that Jesus was my savior. Y'all don't even understand. You know what I'm saying? When the word became flesh, okay? That was so real to me. That was so real to me, y'all. And I know, there's some, and if y'all, that's one of my family members, y'all. But if y'all know who I'm connected to, if y'all know who my family is, my family in the Bay, my family out here, y'all know I got some heavy hitters on my team, and I could have just made a phone call and he would have been sleeping with the fishes. He would have disappeared. And that's facts. That's 100. But I was like, okay, I need to protect this black man as I protect myself. So that was the third incident, y'all. There's 2 more incidents. So I thank y'all for rocking and hanging with me, because we have to talk about this. Black femicide, black murder, women who are black being murdered by black men or people that say they love them or that they love. It's real, y'all. It's real. It's real. It's real out here. And it progresses. It escalates. It goes in stages. And I'm a living witness that it goes in stages. I'm telling y'all right now. So then the next incident was I'm at my sister's house. No, we all go out and kick it. His cousin comes to town. So his cousin, it was him and his cousin. Oh, by the way, yeah, we did get back together after that incident, y'all. We did get back together after that. So his cousin comes to town, and it's me and his cousin and me and my homegirl. So we double dating, we kicking it. All right. So my sister called. She's like, I'm going out of town. I need you to, stay at the house with the kids. I'm like, cool, no problem. So I'm house sitting with her house and her kids. So that's the next night. So he calls me and he's like, the baby shower's today. I just want you to know that that's where I'm going to be at the baby shower. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you for keeping me abreast of the situation. Cause I'm not hating on the baby. I'm not hating on the baby mom. I'm not hating on the situation, because again, I have kids too. And I understand that you were not with me when you got this girl pregnant. So it's whatever. Baby shower. Okay, cool. So then, he comes to my sister's house afterwards, and we're talking. And he says something like way out of pocket to me, and I don't remember what it is, but I said something right back out of pocket because my mouth is swift too. So I said something back to him. This nigga, oh, excuse me. Again, I'm trying to stop saying it. This fool punched me like a man, like I was a man. He was a man, but he punched me like I was a man in the face. So I get out of his car and I slam the door. And so now he's even more mad because he's like, Oh, you gonna break my car? You gonna slam my car? You gonna da 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 da? Mind you, this is the car that I said I wanted, because this is how manipulation is. I saw a car. It was the Magnum. I was like, black on black Magnum. I want this black on black Magnum. He did not know what it was. He had an SUV. I showed him the black on black Magnum. I was like, oh, this is the car that I want. He came to my house in the black on black Magnum. Within days, he went and bought it. And so now he's driving around in this car. And he's like, oh, this is our car. You know, I bought this car for you. Mind you, it's his car. It's in his name. It's in his driveway, not mine. And so he gets out. Oh, you gonna break my car? You gonna da 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 da? And I'm like, no, I don't want no problem. I'm just going in the house. I'm done. It's over. I'm good. So that was the most physical that it had gotten to this point. Like, he's like physically hitting me. So now I'm like, I need to fight too. So now I'm finally like, I need to fight back. I done let this nigga put his hands on me 3 or 4 times already. It's not going to happen. So now I'm squaring up too. I'm like, okay, we just gonna fight, because I'm not gonna let you keep on hitting me and me not hit you back. So I'm squaring up and I'm trying to go what for what. This nigga is getting stronger and stronger, like the Incredible Hulk. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, I couldn't beat him. I couldn't fix it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just lay on this ground and cover the hell up. That's all I could do. I went turtle shell on him, y'all. Not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but the other turtle that hides in the shell. So I just tried to protect myself, and I was like, this has got to be over. Snatched my weave all out. I had just redone a weave, y'all. Had this new crown method that I had figured out, girl. My weave was on fleek, okay, because that was back in the day. My weave was tight, okay. So hair all gone. Hair it's just gone. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So so then I said, okay, Khadijah, you really can't mess with this fool no more. No more. You just can't mess with this fool no more. So his cousin calls me. Hey, he just told me you guys got into it. No, we didn't get into it. He beat my A, and I'm done. So, and I'm calling the police. So I call the police. His mother from the other country calls me. Please, she's pleading with me. Please, please, please don't put my son in jail. Please. He doesn't have anybody out there. He's out there by himself. Please don't put my son in jail. Please just leave him alone. And then she proceeds to tell me that some men like both sides of the coin or something like that. They want night and they want day. And some women have to be okay with that. I'm never going to be okay with a dude having me or another chick and both of us together. That's not how I get down. I'm good. I'm not okay with that. So she's, please don't put him in jail. Please, please, please don't put him in jail. So the police comes and I'm talking to the police, and it just so happened that the police had the same name as the dude I was dating at the time. And so I'm talking to the officer and I'm like, officer, I don't want this black man to get in trouble. I just talked to his mom. I'm just going to leave him alone. The police said, you need to file. He said, I'm telling you right now, it's only going to get worse. You need to file a restraining order. You need to leave him alone. And I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse. Don't do this to yourself. Like, he stayed with me for a long time. You know, he came to take the report, but then he kept saying, you can do better. There's other men out there. Like, he was counseling at this point. Like, he was really being what a police officer should be, which is serving the community. You know what I mean? So he was like, okay, I'm trying to protect you, but you won't let me because you won't give me his information. So I'm how else can I serve you? Right. And so I told him, you know, the dude has the same name as you. And that's all the information that I gave him. I told him what happened. I wouldn't tell him where he lived. I wouldn't give a phone number. I wouldn't give anything like that. And so the police was like, you know, there's not going to be much I can do with this unless you go down and get a restraining order. I can't do anything. So I said, okay. So I told the mom that I'm done with him, and I did not press charges. And in the state of California, you don't have to press charges. If they see that you are jacked up and they physically see that there's marks on you, they'll pick it up themselves, which I did have. I did have marks on me. I did have lumps on my head and everything, but I didn't give them his information. So that was what I thought was the last time. Okay. So guess what, y'all? Y'all not gonna believe this, and I'm gonna have to take a swig of water on this one. We got back together. Yep, we got back together. I was stuck on stupid. I love the traveling. I love the coach bags. I like the money, the finances. I like all the stuff, all the things. And I was just like, okay, it's the devil. Right? I didn't convince myself the devil is working him. It's the devil. The devil. Blah 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 blah. It's not him, and we just need to hold on. And the Lord is gonna da 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 da. And he just needs counseling. He just needs help. So, um, he would come up to my job. I lost a job behind him coming up there. Security had his picture and his car and his plates, and he was like, he can't come in here anymore. They stopped letting him in the door. He would say that he's going to kill himself, and I'm trying to talk him off the ledge from killing himself, and I'm ending up late for work, late, all the lates. I got fired. So, um, right. So Tanika said abusive men are really good at swooning. Yeah. I mean, it's manipulation all the way around. It's all of that is abuse. All of that is abuse, you know? And so he's telling me the things that his dad's dealing with, how his dad is going through psychiatric issues. And he thinks that's going to be his issue too. And he's really scared and he needs some help. And I'm the only one. I'm the only one who knows him. He loves me so much. And he's so sorry and all those other things. And I ended up falling for the bait. Ladies and gentlemen, do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Do not take that bait. You are not a trained professional. And even if you are a trained professional, you cannot counsel your own self. It is not a wise person who seeks wisdom from within. It is not a wise person who tries to tell themselves. They said it's a foolish person will only want to give counsel to themselves, right? Because you're already in a pickle and you need somebody from the outside to help you see your way out. And so I thought, oh, I can help. I couldn't help. I didn't help. So fast forward, baby's here. He's bringing the baby around. Baby's coming to bring the baby to the shop. Hanging out. I'm at the house. The baby's there. No big deal. So it was a massive storm back in Sacramento a while ago. This is like, guys. This is like, what year is this? How old am I? This is like 13 years ago. It was a very long time ago to me, in my eyes, about 13 years ago. So now he has this is the last time. And so now there's a power outage and he's at my house. And so he's saying that he's going to go home and no problem because I'm going to the gym. So my gym hours was 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. That was my gym hours back in the day, 24-hour fitness. The kids would be at the house. And I always have somebody staying with me. It's always somebody living with me. Even now with me and my husband, we always got somebody living with us. So I went to the gym and something was like, he got off the phone with you a little too easy because he used to do the first, you hang up. Oh, stay on the phone with me. I just want to hear you breathe, that type of stuff. I'm like, he got off the phone with me heck quick. So I left the gym and his house was in between my house and the gym. So I just passed by his house. So I knock on the door and he didn't answer. So I'm like, all right, cool. I ring the doorbell, but I'm like, he said he was here. Like, I know he's here, but it was a storm out. So I was like, I wonder if his power is out because there was no lights. I wonder if his power was out. And he still didn't answer. So I turned to walk away and the door cracked open. I was like, oh. So I look in the door and there's a woman standing in the door. And I know from the pictures that was his baby mom. So she looked at me and she says, what do you want, Khadijah? Or what are you doing here, Khadijah? Do I know you? Did we meet? So apparently she had heard about me. I was this woman at his church with 2 children that he periodically helps out and assists, right? I'm not the girlfriend. I'm not anything like that. So basically he playing both of us because he's still with this girl and he's with me. So I was like, really? Like, oh, what are you doing here? She was like, I said, where is he at? And she said, well, he's in the room. And she opens the door for me to come in. So I go in and I'm like, okay, I guess we finna confront this dude, you know, let's just get it all out on the table. So she proceeds to say, what's going on here? And mind you, he had just gotten back from a trip to his home country where I guess he proposed to her. I knew nothing about it. And so she's like, you just proposed and this and that and the third. I was like, really? When? And she's like, when we were in the other country and da 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 da. Oh, okay. Well, here goes my phone and all the messages while you guys were on your trip where he's saying da 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 this and that and the third and all these other things, and my mom can't wait to come back and we hang out again, da 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 da. And so she's mad at him. I'm mad at him. She's questioning him. I'm questioning him. And I'm just like, not only am I questioning him, I'm like proving our relationship. Girls, if you got to prove your relationship, you're not in a relationship. If you got to be in the bed with the dude when he sleep and take a picture of him while he sleep, that's not your dude. If you feel like you got to show that off to somebody, you already know you sharing. Like he for the streets, right? And so I was flabbergasted. I was pissed off. Now here was my thinking. This is your time where you can get your words in because he is not finna put his hands on you in front of nobody else. So say what you got to say. So as I'm telling him, so she's packing her stuff up and she's like, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. And so he's just like, well, whatever, that's whatever, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to believe, if this and that and the third. And I said, no, 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 you stay, I'm gonna go. That's when he sprung up off that bed, grabbed his gun out of the nightstand, and I don't know why everything was moving so slow, because I keep thinking back, why did you not run out of that house? Why were you still in that house and you saw him going for that nightstand? Because you knew where the gun was. Why were you still, what were you thinking? And so, and I still question myself sometimes if it comes up. I'm like, how could you have done better in that moment? But the moment was what it was. And so he grabs me. And so he's choking me, telling me I'm going to die today. He's telling me to open my mouth. So he's going to blow my brains out, that he's going to kill me. Now, mind you, the girl, the baby mama who ended up being his wife, is there witnessing all of this. And she is telling him, don't do this. Don't do this. Think about our son. Think about our son. I just kept hearing her say, think about our son. Think about our son. And he's like, no, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. So then he leaned up off of me for a little bit. And then I saw the TV was flickering in the back. I saw that he had a gun lock on the gun through the barrel. So I was like, this gun is not even active. There ain't even no bullets in here. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, Khadijah, this is your time to jet. So I get up to run and he grabs me again and he starts pistol whipping me with the gun. The girl is screaming. She's like, stop, please stop. And so, yeah, right, Tanika, them 2 minutes felt like forever, just felt like an eternity. So at whatever happened, I don't know what happened at that point after he stops hitting me with the gun in my head. And I was hiding my face, so he's hitting me mostly in the head. And he got up off me a little bit, and I took up out of that room, y'all. I could not get to my car fast enough. I got in that car. I couldn't even drive. My body was shaking. My hands were shaking. I knew I was going to die that night. And I knew that if I didn't die in that moment, that this man was going to come and find me and kill me. I had to do something. So I called a good friend of mine. I told her what happened. And she was shocked too. Like when I say good friend, like I'm at her house every day. We're together every day. And I ain't told her none of this. And so she was like, I knew something was wrong. I didn't know. Where are you? So she had to come and get me. And again, we all lived in the same neighborhood. So she came and got me, and I'm shaking and I'm crying. And she's like, you have to go to Kaiser. You have to go to the hospital. You have to go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. I call the police. On the way to the hospital, the police tells me, no, stay where you are, but stay safe. So we ended up parking in like a park across the street cat corner from his house, so he couldn't see it. So I see the police drive up. The police picked him up. The police get her statement, get his statement, get my statement. And basically they both deny it. And like I just bum rushed his house and whatever their story was. And they ended up getting married in the course of the court proceedings. So she didn't have to testify, which was very smart on their part. So then when the cops came over to my car, they're like, look, ma'am, we see that you called us before. You have to follow through. This dude does not have one gun, does not have two guns. This dude has 5 guns and a crossbow. You need to get as far away from here as possible. So they give me all the weave numbers, all the shelters and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to no weave shelter. My kids ain't going to no shelter. Da, da, da. So I did not stay home for the first week. I did end up going to a friend of mine's house and staying there. But I knew I was going to die if I didn't do anything. I pressed charges that time. He ended up bonding out again. You know, he's Moneybags McGee. So he bonds out, and I got a restraining order for 5 years. And every now and then over those 5 years, I would get unknown callers just breathing on my line. I didn't know what it was. We are 13 years later. I have since forgiven him. And anybody who knows me knows that I am a champion for the brother. I am a champion for Black men. I feel like Black men are the most hunted and the most hunted person or being in the United States of America. That said, the most vulnerable, if the Black man is the most hunted, the most vulnerable, even outside of that, is the Black woman. Because when that Black man gets beat down in the world and he comes home, he can bring all of that trauma and stuff into the home. And now we have victims like this, right? 70 plus women have been killed. Women and girls have been killed in the month of February at the hands of someone who says they love them or someone who they love. 70 plus, and that this is the US only. This is not worldwide, right? So beautiful. These are beautiful Black women. These are beautiful mothers and daughters, sisters and friends. And we don't talk enough about that. So I wanted to share my story so that someone can either get out the situation that they're in, prevent the situation from happening, so that you can stay safe, so that you can teach your sons not to put their hands on the women who love them, who stand by them, who fight for them, who cherish them, who pray for them. The Black women who have and babies, y'all, babies, 8 months. Come on now, baby. This is our future, y'all. We are shooting down our future. We are killing our mothers, y'all. We got to stop this. Everything that we talk about in the Black community, that's what's wrong with the Black community, is not from an external source. It is not from outside the community. A healing, a reckoning has to take place in the community where we stop killing Black women and girls, where we stop protecting fools who are killing Black women and girls. And if you're in a situation like this today, I urge you to get some help. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to 911, you can reach out to Weave. There is hope for you. You are not stuck in a situation. You are lovable and will be loved again. That is not the only man on the earth, on the planet, y'all. Babies, y'all. Man, it's sad. I swear to God, it's so sad. And y'all know I'm not a crier. I'm not a crier, but if you can't look at these faces, this right down the street from me. If you can't look at these faces, if you can't look at these faces and understand that you have to leave your situation, you got to get away. You've got to get away. And yes, you have to protect yourself. And if that includes calling 911, that's your right to be safe. If that includes you practicing your Second Amendment right, that is your right to be safe and save yourself and save your family. It's time to stand up for these women, y'all. It's time to stand up for us. For us. Everybody knew around me that something was wrong, but they couldn't quite put their finger on it because I was too ashamed to say something. If you have a friend that's in an abusive situation, say something. If you hear somebody beating on your neighbor next door, say something. Call the police. Do something. Now, if you don't want to get yourself in harm's way, if you don't want to put yourself in harm's way, then call the police. That's what they're there for. That's their job. And I'm sorry if the police have to take a brother out to save a sister's life. That's not my problem. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. Get some help. You deserve better. You don't deserve to be beaten. You don't deserve to be bloodied. You don't deserve to be killed. And guess what? If a fool is suicidal, they are homicidal. If they say they're gonna kill themselves, they will kill you too. And they will kill the children. Don't think just because he's never hit the children that he won't hit them. Because he threatens to kill you but not kill the children, that he would only kill you if it came down to it. No. He will take you out, your kids out, your mama out, your sister out, anybody. Anybody. So you get some help. The hotline.org is a place where you can get some help. And I appreciate my sister Rolanda for bringing this to our attention. She is out here doing the work, y'all. She's not playing. Yes, this is Women's History Month, but she every single day champions women. She mentored my daughter. She took her all through North America. She was with my baby for 30 days, taking her across the U.S. and North America to teach her historical information and who she is and her historical identity. And I appreciate her. And I appreciate the young sister Isis for putting this PowerPoint together. These are our children, y'all. These are our sisters, y'all. This is us. We got to stop this foolishness. Brothers, if you listening, if you watching, and you got a brother that is cutting up or cutting the fool or doing too much, you need to check that fool. You need to check him. And if you can't check him with words, you need to chin check him. Because if all he knows is violence, you may have to go there with him. You might have to choke that fool out and let him know he can't do this. These are our sisters, y'all. Every face that I see, I know. You know what I mean? I know this sister. I don't know her personally. I didn't know her personally. But that face, that's my sister. So we got to do something about it, y'all. Over 70 women and girls were killed last month, in the shortest month of the year, Black History Month. And we still killing our future. These are the women, mother and daughter. These are the women who are our future. They're our future. They're creating life. They're giving life. They're bringing life into this world. We got to do better, y'all. We need to protect Black women and girls at all costs. Protect Black women and girls at all costs. Protect Black women and girls at all costs. Yes, it's sad. It should be sad. We should be sad. We should be angry. We should be pissed the F off. And we should do something about it. What can you do today that can save a mother and her 2 children? What can you do today that could save a little girl's life? What can you do today that can save a family's life? A whole family. I know we saying this don't happen to us. We don't do stuff like this, but we do. These people are transition proof because they have transitioned. Their time is over here on this earth. They are transitioned proof that we do stuff like this. Mental health is real, y'all. We got to pull it together. And you young ones, I keep seeing a lot of young faces. And my daughter is the same age as this young lady here. Young people, you can do better. You can absolutely do better. 1,000%. He ain't worth it. He don't deserve you. You deserve better. So I just wanted to put that in y'all ear and y'all eyesight on today. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for watching. I pray that you share this show with somebody who you love, even with the public. If you have a platform, share it. Get some help if you're in this situation. You can do bad all by your damn self. And you definitely can do better than getting beat in the face and waiting for your day to meet your maker. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you on the next Unapologetic.